Hi everyone, it's Bob from Greybeard Models. Welcome back to the bench. So we're time to do an update on the Ram Kangaroo. The Gecko kit, 1/35th scale, lovely kit. It's going together lovely. So I think we should go over to the bench and have a look. But before we do that, one of the things I wanted to say was I noticed on the videos when I played them back that the instructions are sort of out of focus. I've got to sort that out, and hopefully on the next video I'll have solved that problem. But in the meantime, let's get over to the bench and let's see what we've been doing. Okay, so inside the inside of the RAM, had some discussions actually over the week about the colour. The instructions from Gecko sort of adamant that the internal parts are all sort of matte white. And an interesting question came up that actually I think it sort of didn't look right. So I had a look at a couple of YouTube videos, and one from Bovington Tank Museum, and the internal of the Kangaroo that they've got isn't white. It's a sort of a pale green sort of hue. If you've been down there and seen it, you probably know what I mean. Unfortunately, I haven't been there yet, and it's on my to-do list. And it's not white. It's not the sort of matte white. And the interesting thing is when you look at this, sorry about the glare, try and get rid of that. Right, so when you look at this is a green camo colour with a bright white circle. And my brother said to me, it's almost like a target. So any sort of aircraft flying over, you see all this nice green, and if you've got a sort of convoy of these, you've got sort of white dots to aim at, which is an interesting point, given that obviously you'd have troops in there anyway, so it might hide it. But even so, having it bright white, if this is empty and they're going back empty with nobody in it apart from the driver and the gunner at the front, it's almost like they're a target. And so it made me think, so what I've done here, bring this back in, try and explain why I've done what I've done. What I've done is I've the white that I had, which was a mix of if you recall, white and sky grey and all of that. I did another mix with an added amount of cam olive green, just to tone the white down, but with a greener hue. And I think that looks better. So what I'm tempted to do now, even though I've got this stage, which is a bit of a shame really, is to have a look at it in terms of where the body shell goes, which is sort of there, if I'm right, maybe a bit further back, and then look at what that colour should be. I'm quite tempted to leave that colour. I'd be interested to know what you think. If you've got any opinions on this, I mean, I'm open to to whatever you want to say, but yeah, I just wondered what you all thought. Should that be white, or should it be an off colour? I don't think it's a camo colour. I don't think they painted it with, say, you know, like a cam olive green inside. I don't think they did that, because I think when they modified the vehicles, this would have been the standard colour inside the tank. So I'm not sure, but anyway, that's as far as we've got with the inside of the body. The next stage is to is to sort of maybe do the weathering at this point. So I'm just going to think about that. But in the meantime, let's have a look at the engine. Well, I was going to actually see if I could film putting this together, but to be perfectly honest with you, it's fiddly and the camera's in the way, and getting the camera into a position like it is here, where you know everything's sort of in focus, means that it's just too close. So I'm going to go ahead and carry on with the construction of the engine and come back to you. Right, so the engine's put together, apart from I think next stage was to add hold on, let me just undo that, was to add the sort of exhaust pipes there, but yeah, it's actually quite a well made engine. I'm quite impressed with it. Obviously it's just in base colours at the moment, so I mean it's going to go and get weathered in a bit. I get some time, excuse me, coughing, but yeah, really nice, really it went together really well, quite well lined up, all of the parts fitted reasonably well. God, got a bit of a throat, but yeah, really nice. I'm quite pleased with it. Like I say, all it needs now is just a bit of a weathering session, which is what I'm going to go off and do now. But yeah, went together well. A certain amount of pre-painting for those of you out there that ask, so that you know, because of the different layers it comes, you know, if you look at the instructions, it comes, it's different layers, so each layer really needs to be identified, etc. So yeah, really nice. Well pleased with it. So the next, like I say, the next stage is to fit the exhausts in place, which is really quite cool. Nice job. Right, so in between doing all the other jobs and working on the models, I decided to do something with the V bombers. Obviously you've got the Vulcan, the Victor and the Valiant there, and put them up on the wall, get them off the shelves and get them out of the way, because they were, although they're good models, they're just a bit of a pain to display. So they're up there, and in the meantime I've also just worked on putting some more shelving up here next to the collection of CDs that I'm in the middle of sorting out. Anyway, moving swiftly on and back to the models. Okay, so we've pretty much got all the internals on the hull together. So pretty much, as I say, we toned the colour down here, so it's just got a sort of a little hint of green there, so taking the whiteness out of it, and the same on the walls here, just taken that down. But I'm sort of, yeah, I'm sort of playing with that idea, but we've got to seal all this with some gloss varnish. Got the back in there, just going off on a tangent again. So there's the engine compartment there with the fuel tanks in place, and a universal joint there. That's the universal joint that goes from the rear of the engine or the motor there, that goes in there, and then it takes the drive shaft from the engine all the way through to the transmission. So all of that's in place. We're all good. Quite happy with it so far. Like I say, I think I'll give it a gloss coat and do some weathering at some point. Now I'm in two minds whether or not to do the weathering now or wait until we've got the sides on and then do the whole lot in one fell swoop. But yeah, so we'll get the sides sorted out and I'll come back to you. Right, so catching up, we're now at the stage where we'll start putting the sides onto the base of the hull and get those into place. It's fairly straightforward. Once all those are in place, then we add the front, and it starts to take the shape, the sort of iconic shape. I'm looking at the doors for the back, the back of the engine compartment, which is these parts here, and I'm just considering whether or not to have the doors open, just to it seems a shame to put all the engine detail in there, oh sorry, that way up, in there, and then not see it. So I'm considering that, and I'm also considering whether or not to, when put the top on, whether or not to have these engine covers open. But the engine covers have got all the tools on, so I'm toying with that idea. But that's pretty much where we are at the moment, and I think we'll hold it there, and then in the next episode we'll have a good look at it, sort of nearly completed. In fact it might well be completed. Oh, I do have an idea for a diorama. Excellent. Anyway, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.